malfunction, I'm malfunctioning today. Malfunction, malfunction, I'm malfunctioning today. Yeah. Oh, wait, wait. Get it there. What's going on now? I haven't even put the bloody kettle on. What's going on here? How am I supposed to do any kind of live stream, any kind of chatty stuff without a cup of tea? Well, I'll tell you, I can't. It's impossible. Impossible indeed. No wonder I am malfunctioning, because it just doesn't work like that. Presumably, we are on. Now, there's always a slight delay when it comes to pressing the button of liveness to the liveness actually happening. And usually it's about 40 seconds. 40 seconds have well and truly gone by. Isn't this a surprise then? Well, isn't this a surprise? Was you expecting this? No. But look outside. Look at that bloody rain. What do you expect? And what a terrible excuse. A terrible excuse indeed, because I'm not even outside. I'm inside. Just because I'm wearing my rather dapper, exceedingly dirty high-vis jacket, which I will add is quite warm. You zip it up, quite snug, but it doesn't stop my head from getting wet. And that's the bit that I will talk about when it comes to complaining about the bloody weather. Ah, right, good. Nobody's shouting. There's no sound. Yes, because there is. There is sound. We want a better explanation as to why there's a live stream going on right now than just because it's raining. Well, I'll tell you honestly, it's about avoiding this. Not avoiding it as in pretending it's not there, because clearly it is there. It's just that I'm not really quite in the mood for doing the thing with it that I want to be doing with it. And that is cam seals. And here they are, the cam seals. Should be an easy job, could end up being a bloody nightmare, but it shouldn't be. But do you know what's involved in taking the cam seals off and just replacing them for one of these? K series, by the way. And if you don't know, this is a Rover 25 with a 1.4 litre K series engine. One of my favourite little engines that's misunderstood and not really particularly well regarded ever. I love it. I think it's great. One of the reasons I love the K series so much is because other people don't. And so I on the side, you know, I'm always there, ready to be you know, basically I'm an anti-bully. Okay, so the K series engine is definitely one of those. If engines could be bullied, that's an engine that's been bullied at some point. How many people got watching here? 10? Oh, 20. Oh, blimey. Oh, that's good. Thank you, 20 people, for being here right now, watching this hairy man have a little chat. Maybe one of you, or two or three, could actually like this live stream, bring a couple more people in. As I've said, I'm not ashamed to ask you to like it, because what harm is it going to do? Let's get back to the point. So, yeah, K series engine. Yep, one of my favourites. Oh, we're down to 19 now. One of my favourites, but it has developed a rather unlikable oil leak. A unlikable oil leak that's spilling stuff out the bottom of the engine, covering the bottom of the engine with oily stuff, which nobody likes to see. Nobody's going to pat me on the back and say, you're doing the world a favour by spilling oil everywhere. They're definitely not. They're not going to do that. They might say something else, though, a little bit less complimentary. But I'm not going to find out, because well, I'm just going to fit these. But that includes, if you're interested, and maybe you're not, but I'm just going to show you before I start saying hello to them, that here is the engine there. What's got to come off is the engine mounts, so the engine can be jacked up. The tensioner unreleased, the cam belt taken off, and then the two wheels there that show it's a twin cam have got to be removed. And then the top of the engine, the very top of it, which is just basically the rocker cover, and then the cams can actually come out. This would be the fantastic opportunity that I haven't got to actually fit some 135 cams, some high lift cams, but I haven't got any. and it probably wouldn't really help on a 1.4 anyway. So then I have to, once I've done that, you take these existing and not very good seals out. I mean, they're not very good seals. They're not very good seals at all. They're about as good a seal as a Labrador. They look like seals, but they don't actually do the right sound. I mean, they make a similar sound, don't they? Arr, 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 arr. But it's not quite the right one. These ones, these seals, should do the sealing much more effectively. Yes? Yes. But why am I not doing it? Well, the answer is because it's much easier just to do a live stream. And my life is more about making videos than fixing things. Sort of. Well, that is going to get fixed. But what I need to do is actually start fixing it and continue fixing it until it's fixed, rather than going any further than what I've done at the moment, which is just jack the engine up ever so slightly. Because if I start on doing things and then leave it for another day, that other day could end up being another week or even another year at this rate, because we are quite close to it. We are quite close to the end of the year. Happy Christmas, etc. And I don't really want to get into doing that and then discover that I can't be bothered. Now, obviously, I'm not going to really do that, but as we're having this conversation, I'm just trying to explain myself. And you know, if you're confused, it's not my fault. I explained it. What more do you need? You can't just accept an explanation. What else is there to do? Have a cup of tea is the answer. Now, in order for me to, well, basically do more than just waffle on about what I'm not actually doing and say hello to people, I'm going to have to go and, oh, bollocks, I've got no milk. Ah, shite, I can't believe it. No, of all the things that really isn't going to work, having no milk. What am I going to do about that? Ask the garage. I'll ask the garage for some milk, because otherwise it means popping off down to Aldi, and that would have to be ending the live stream or taking you with me to Aldi. That really wouldn't work, would it? Or the other alternative is just to drink tea black. But I find it's the milk in the tea that actually makes it refreshing, which does sound a bit odd, but that's kind of the way it goes. Let's try it anyway. Right, I'm just going to get used to it. I'm going to try and get used to it. I'm never going to actually do without milk. I'm not one of these people that don't have milk or dairy products because they think there's something wrong with it. Because as far as I see it, yeah, there is something wrong with it, but it's just really good. It's really nice. It's good for you. It's not good for your conscience, but it's good for your body. And you have to just decide which side you're on. So let's get my glasses, which will... Oh, I just had a birdie in here then. Hello, birdie. Glasses, where are... Oh, they are. There we are, glasses. So everybody, help me get this channel elevated ever so slightly. We want more than just a couple of streams with 10 people watching. I posted small videos. They're not particularly well crafted. They're just small things that are going on in and around here that are put on there, so I don't detract too far away from what's going on the main channel, because the main channel wants proper length videos and not really live streams, so this one has to be just a bit different. But I would quite like to get this one properly monetized, and at the moment I'm about 800 viewing hours off. So please do me a favor and watch the videos. There's the problem. All of the videos I put in here are all quite short as well. I could go down the old route of doing live streams where nothing's actually going on, like somebody I know. I won't mention who, but I don't really want to do that. Oh, I did think actually yesterday, because I picked my guitar up for the first time in quite a while, because I noticed my nails have got long enough to actually pick the strings properly. I could do a live string guitar thing where I actually just sit and play. I don't really do anything else. You know, just sit and play, just improvise, and just enjoy sitting and playing. Because then it's not like I'm just relying on everyone just to be here, just to chat with each other. There'll be something going on in the background, so I won't feel too bad about that. Now then, finally indeed, let's have a look and see who is here. And it was, or is, quite a few. Come on, move up there. Move up there. Wow, how many people have come and gone? Quite a lot. Lighting's not particularly good at the moment, is it? It's a bit too much light up ahead again, but never mind, we'll just have to tolerate that. The guy from SETI Alpha 5 is here. Hello. Hello, Barry. How are you? Good morning, sir. Just a quick visit. Steve Hulg is here, Peter P. And the Mighty Cat Mods. I say the Mighty Cat Mods when that's not really the name. It's just Mighty Cat Mods. But the Mighty Cat Mods, that makes it sound like a film. And I think I'm going to start calling you the Mighty Cat Mods. Oh, because although you get sort of quite a high level of humidity on the go when you're in a metal box, and glasses on the top of your head will actually get rather steep up, but I like to remove them and then I regret it because I couldn't see what was going on. Hi Barry, happy anniversary. Thank you mate, happy anniversary. Oh yeah, hello Captain Mustard and everyone, says Andrew Buttigieg. Well, thank you for joining, Andrew Buttigieg. It doesn't feel that cold here, but look at all this steam coming out of my head. You know, yeah, more proof that I'm just hot air. I'm taking Karen out for a meal on Saturday, and then I'm back in Jeff. When I'm back in Jeff. Ah, right, I see. Yeah. Everyone is here. Haha, all right, Mustard, says Paulie Gulataria. I still can't get used to that name. I can't get used to it. This is where just thinking of your own names for people actually works, even if it does sometimes feel like a bit of a rude thing to do. I had a wasp in my ear. No, I didn't. It wasn't a wasp, it was just an itchy bit. Yeah, happy anniversary. Everyone seems to know about Barry's anniversary. Head out to work, head out to work, head out to work. Oh, right. See, this is the thing. This is where live streams where you just leave people to talk to each other, it does work, and you don't really need to interact quite as much as you'd think. And so the guitar idea is something I might do, because if I could get back to doing the thing like I used to do, I'd spend hours playing. Yeah, I mean, literally hours. I'm back from Derby. I emigrated to the USA in 2016. Good move, yeah. And Ali Mac is here, and Ali Max, you've obviously already seen my lockup disaster, haven't you? And that's what I'm going to call it, a lockup disaster. So there's nothing worse, really. There are worse things than discovering you've got no milk. But when you really want a cup of tea with milk, then there are not many things that are worse actually at the time. Yeah, it's just not nice. And I'd drink it just for the sake of having a drink. So the purpose of having a drink is to quench the thirst, is to provide moisture, liquid into your body. That's going to be it. I'm not going to drink it to enjoy it. No chance. No chance at all. You can take the lad out of Derby, but you can't take the Derby out of the lad, says Barry. How you could say that about anybody in any area, and that's what that means really, is you're proud of your roots. And why shouldn't you be? Why shouldn't you be? Someone shot the internet. Oh right, okay, we have somebody laughing with their whatever that is there, so thank you very much for laughing. I hope it was for the right reason. I'm getting more and more concerned about this lighting issue. But how much battery charge? 37 is not quite enough. See, I'm on. It's on charge. Last time I did the live stream, what did I do? I switched off these lights. Let's do it again. And at this point, we discover that there's not quite enough light, unless I put it over here somewhere. Having said that though, I can easier read the comments because of it. Not so bad now, is it? Eh? Not so bad at all. I mean, it's quite dark, but that, as opposed to, you know, having this white light making my hair look grey, that's not a good thing at all. I don't want anyone thinking I'm old, do I now? There we go. That's better, isn't it? So, welcome back to the live stream that didn't actually go anywhere and hasn't gone anywhere just yet. Moved here from Cheshire, says Paulie Gugliati. Forgotten Creed. Forgotten Creed is or was here and says hello. Loom Scrapyard has gone recently. I don't know about that. Maybe you do. My auntie's on the Wirral near Mr. Stephen Parry, as it happens. Is that Mr. Stephen Parry from Portlight Sunlight on the Wirral? Or is it a different one? You can't make jokes like that. I mean, because I'm saying it's a joke, but it's just, you know, people think it's stupid. I've just been on Facebook and somebody posted this picture on one of the local groups of a Honda parked outside their house, blocking the driveway. And they'd said, this car keeps being left here and I can't get out. But they'd actually disguised the number plate. And I just wrote on there, well, how's the owner going to know it's their car without the number plate? And rather than that just being taken for what it was, which is, you know, why disguise the number plate? The guy came back to me and said, I can't see there being any more than two of them. One of them, rather. I thought, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. I'm not going to say it. The Looms was a great fave haunt of mine and my dad's when I was a kid. Scrapyard, that is. We take cars apart and then put them back together and get other parts from there. You can do a wheel bearing for me, says Ali Mac. Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to be comfortable doing something like a wheel bearing to the extent where I would happily travel up to Scotland and do it rather than doing it here. Sad loss, yeah, great memories are. Oh, look, a bit wobbly, isn't it? Has the yard cat got any milk? Well, it depends on which yard cat we're talking about. Yard cats, I say yard cats plural because it used to be the case that it was just one yard cat. And then that cat seemed to disappear. It got replaced by about 4. But there's only one that comes about regularly, and it's the first friendly yard cat. The grey and white tabby. It's a lovely thing. It always comes over and says hello. But no, that hasn't got any milk. You can take milk off a cat. It's like taking, you know, sweets off a child, isn't it? It's just not on. Although apparently milk isn't good for cats. And you don't want that replacement, the stuff you get in pets at home, the kind of milk that cats can drink. No, you want proper cow's milk. And I don't suppose it'll have any of that. There we go again, this funny that Arabic thing of whatever it is, with 5 green happy or grimacing faces. I'm not really sure. Alright, me old cocker says smashing pistons, smashing Simon's pistons. Simon of Sheffield, the Wonderland. Thank you very much, Simon. How nice to see you, my old chap indeed. Oh, Peter P. Alright, Simon, alright, Stephen, alright, afternoon, all right there, alright there. Hope everyone is well. I've got full of tea. All right there. All right. Shut up. I would take all the wood bits out of the rovers and their bags and stuff. There we do. Make this into a song, right? Until I was nicked from my shed in. I was still nicked from my shed in Alveston, where probably hard to find now. Depends on which rover we're talking about, doesn't it? Name me -1 is here. Ah, lovely. What are we cooking in the garage? Well, I do have some food here. Of course, I have some eggs. Just eggs, just boiled eggs. The perfect thing to take to work because you boil them and you put them straight back in the egg box And you can put them in your briefcase and you take them to work. They're not messy. You don't really have to worry about them being knocked about too much because they're in a lovely protective package. And then when you feel a bit peckish, you just smash one open and eat the contents. It's fabulous. I do it all the time. I do it all of the time. You can't beat a boiled egg. I mean, well, you're best not beating it, because then you're best just cracking it to release the eggy contents rather than beating it. Beating is what you do if you want scrambled egg, of course. And that, of course, is a bit more of a mess because you need some tin foil or something to contain it in, or a plastic tub. I haven't done that. No. Has anybody ever seen boiled eggs in like plastic tubs in the supermarket where they take the shell off and then they have to stick it in some sort of plastic container to protect the egg from getting full of bits? Isn't that a weird idea? A very, very weird idea indeed. You really consider it's got the perfect surrounds to start with. It's like taking the skin off an apple. Oh yeah, they do that as well, don't they? They take the skin off an apple, chop it up, and then put it into a plastic tub. And somehow that saves time. How? How can it save time? That's the bit I really don't understand. I'm going to admit here to not feeling entirely myself without a proper cup of tea. I'm really, really disappointed. That is just horrible. Alveston, that's your answer. Almost as bad as Chad. This tripod's useless, isn't it? I mean, this is the cheapo gimbal that I bought ages and ages back. What was it, about £15 or something? Turned out to be utter cack, and so it's never really been used as a gimbal ever since. But it does have the tripod facility. But as you can see, it's exceedingly wobbly and not very good. Hello and goodbye, flying visit, says Emma Lemon. Well, suit yourself. I think the meter has now gone too. Not before time. Starbucks. Oh, we're all talking about this one place, aren't we? And saying hello to each other as normal. Normanton Littleover area. I've never heard of that one. Never actually heard of that place. The Mighty Cat Mods are a band from the 1970s. We are semi-retired now. We are semi-retired now. What do you mean we are? Are you the Mighty Cat Mods? Were you in the band? Oh, are you in the band as a semi-retired person in the band? If you are, that's quite a revelation for me, because I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that at all, because I'm sure. I could be thinking of anybody. I could be thinking of anybody, because I get to speak to lots and lots of people on these live streams and on my videos and everywhere else, etc. But I thought you was way too young for that, and now you're about to tell me that you are. I know it. My ex-Daz lived in the Retina. Oh, right, okay. Gosh, I must reported somebody then. Dark mode deployed. Well, it is dark mode, yeah. It's dark with just a little bit of colour. I think it's better. I think it's more suitable. Don't you? Stop falling about. Stop faffing about. Stop faffing about with your lights. You wouldn't catch me doing that, says Simon. Yes, you would. Yes, you would indeed. And that's the point. Don't forget to like. Thank you, name me -1. Happy anniversary, Casbar, says UK Singles Network. That's an unusual name. UK Singles Network. Now, you know, sometimes I do quite like to award a mark out of 10 for a YouTube handle, if that's what they call it. And I'm going to give that one, UK Singles Network, a rather confusing 5. Because that's an unusual name. It's a very unusual name. Why would you call yourself that? Why would you call yourself UK Singles Network? How could one person be a network? That doesn't make any sense. Oh dear. Thank you. I'll pass on the message. Thank you. I watched your road trip to Carmarthen last night. I didn't do one to Carmarthen. Boaty's done one to Carmarthen, but that wasn't me. You should be able to tell by the fact that the way it's filmed is filmed in a very different way to the way I film mine, and the way that we both speak differently, and the way we make different observations, and the length as well. Because I watched one last night. I'm sure it was by Boating. It was an hour long video. Gosh, I fell asleep. I did. I fell asleep. I fell asleep watching it because it was. I thought I'll give this a good watch, but I couldn't see it through to the end. Mind you, speaking of long videos, who knows Matt Armstrong? Matt Armstrong, very, very popular young chap with his supercars that he buys wrecked, spends a fortune fixing them up and doesn't necessarily make any money on them. But I watched one of his videos the other day. Not seen one for quite a while because I think they're all right, but I was, I just kind of went off them ever so slightly. But good on Matt. Good on Matt. The amount of effort that goes in. He must have a team of people working for him now, and somebody actually making his videos, because they seem to have changed somewhat. And I was watching this one where he bought a BMW M3 or an M4, whichever one it was. Not a car that I know anything about, except that it had done that thing where it crashed into a house and knocked the house down a bit and severely smashed itself to bits. That bit, yeah, very familiar with. Now normally a car like that, you just chuck it away, but he paid £31,000 for this car that needed a whole front end, and the back quarter was all smashed in, and the back wheel was in the wrong place. What a nut job. Anyway, the film was really rather well made, an awful lot of information going into it and everything, and then I thought, quite long this, isn't it? I paused it because I had to nip off, and I'd been watching for 57 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I'd actually been watching a YouTube video for 57 minutes, and then I looked and there was still a way to go. The video, 3 hours and 17 minutes. That's astonishing. Oh God, that's horrible. I did actually buy some milk last night because, as I do every day, I've got to go to the shop. I have to go to the shop because that's my duty. I have people to feed, and if I don't go to the shop, they don't feed. They don't have anything to eat, and that does not make them particularly happy, does it? No, it doesn't. Not at all. So I had to go to the shop, and I bought an extra thingy of milk because I knew that I was quite low on the stuff. And I can't go all day without lots of cups of tea, but now I'm having to do it because I'm so bloody clumsy. I don't know whether to just see if I can get some, because this is horrible. Oh, thank you, says UK Singles Network. Well, you're welcome. I mean, I think 5 out of 10 is quite generous, considering that the nature of the name. Karen will, of course, tell us all to go to the pub. Right, is that without Karen? Karen is a good one. She is. Sup, says Windy Miller. Oh, Windy Miller, what a chap. Windy Miller, thank you for popping in. If it is indeed popping in, I don't blame anyone if they want to bugger off again before long, because all I seem to do is just stand here and waffle on about what I'm not actually doing and complaining that I haven't got any milk. Windy Miller, lovely chap with such fabulous comments on my videos and others as well. I mean, I don't follow Windy Miller around seeing what kind of things he says, but I almost think that he must have like a book of ideas, and when he goes to bed at night, he starts jotting these ideas down, ready for when a video comes up that he can comment on, because they're just bizarre ideas. They're brilliant. I really get the ideas. They're fantastic. They're my favourite comments. They really are. N says, N. Well, that's a very, very imaginative name indeed. You look like you came from McDonald's and got a Big Mac and got a beer. Too bad it was just the apple juice. Well, that is, I'm not really, not sure really what to make of that really, because I look like I came from McDonald's and got a Big Mac and got a beer. Too bad it was just apple juice. So are you saying that I look like I work in McDonald's, or like I've been to McDonald's and bought a Big Mac and a beer, and for some reason whilst I was in there fancying a beer to eat with my burger, I didn't really consider that this fast food establishment targeted at younger people would sell beer? I'd have to be a bit clumsy to do that now, wouldn't I? But welcome anyway. And welcome everybody, and welcome Greg Anderson. Hello, I'm watching covertly at work. Hopefully I won't get rumbled. Well, it depends on what you're doing for work, doesn't it? Let me guess. The worst kind of job you could have to be also watching a live stream. Well, I'm sure there are plenty of things, aren't there? You could be, you could be, I mean, it'd be bad enough if you just worked in the post office and you're serving customers, and whilst you're serving customers and they're queuing up and they're wondering what this voice is going on in the background, and you're quick looking down and just typing messages out, that would annoy someone. But it wouldn't at least be dangerous, would it? No. If you was an airline pilot or a surgeon, it would. Don't watch live streams whilst operating on people. If you've got to cut someone open and remove bits of their innards to take an appendix out or something like that, please do not watch my live stream, because I'd actually feel bad if something went wrong, and I wouldn't like that to happen. Plus, chances are, if you're keeping your job after that, are relatively low. And even worse, imagine if you was watching a live stream on your mobile phone whilst taking someone's appendix out and the phone accidentally fell inside. But because you got distracted by somebody else talking to you, you sewed it back up. You knew that was coming, didn't you? Fine and dandy. Smashing Piston says, so can we expect a Christmas single from you this year? Oh, like I did last year? Yes, of course. I did one last year, didn't I? Or was it Happy New Year? No, it was a Happy New Year one, wasn't it? It was a really great, catchy song where I played one chord over and over and just said, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It was brilliant. Yeah, lots of tunes, you forget them. Even if they are, interesting. The best tune for being memorable, whilst not being an annoying earworm, is just to stick to one note and two words. You can't really go too far wrong with that. If you could design a flag for the newly independent republic of your house, what would it look like? See, that's a quality question. An exceedingly good question. Now I want to design a flag. And I've never wanted to design a flag before, so I feel obliged to actually design one. Should we give it a quick go? I'm going to have to put the light on and find something to design my flag on. So, how about the back of this box here? That will do. Now, normally what happens with flags, of course, is you have, you have either symbols, you have creatures, or things that are relative to what's going on. At my house, where I live, what's going on there is the dog, and me not being entirely in charge. Of course I'm not in charge. I'm a man. Men are never in charge. Even when they think they're in charge. Even when they're told they're in charge. They're not, are they? So this has got to conform with exactly what would be expected at home. Either that, or I just keep the flag here and say it's the flag of PNHQ, and that is probably an even better idea. So I could actually scribble something up now. I've even got some paint. I've got all sorts of stuff here. I could make this a really exciting ordeal, but I probably won't, and I'm bound to make it a bit wrong. So, ready? For the moment, I'm keeping the flag white and it has a word on and a symbol, which is there, as you can see. I think it's rather stylish. It's no one's going to copy that. Don't think I've ever seen that before, and that's my flag. Okay, so thank you, Windy Miller, for insisting that I did this particular thing. That should go on a t-shirt. Lights off. So much cozy like this, though, isn't it? I just like it like this. If only I could work under these conditions. This here, I reckon I should be making a new profile picture for the Captain Mustard channel in here with these lights behind me. So here we go. I'm going to have a go at this. That'll do. Until I have a look at it and think, nah, shite. Let's not do that after all. If the tea is nasty, get Sean to make you a cup. Well, Sean James Cameron, would you make me a cup of tea, you good chap? Now, let me know if he answers that, because I won't be able to hear him from here. Yes, I might have just made that bit up for entertainment purposes, says Mighty Cat Mods. Oh gosh, imagine that. Imagine doing that. Trickery. The trickery. Oh, you naughty chap. Hooked on Classics is here. Hey, it's Simone. That's how that's done. Welcome, Simone. Boaty says, hurry up with the comments. Where does he say that? I haven't seen it here actually today. Hello. Ah, right, I'm going live soon on my gaming channel, says Simone. How lovely indeed. Now, is that more successful as a live stream channel than Hooked on Classics? Do tell me. Clorox bleach. Right. Hey, I know you. You're that guy from Harry Potter. But which one? Which one from Harry Potter? I'm not familiar with it. I mean, I know I appeared in it and everything, but I didn't watch it. The only bit of the script I read was the bit I was doing. The rest of it, I thought, well, it's not relevant to me, is it? I don't really need to know about it. So you can all jeff off. I'll come in here, I'm going to do my job, I want to get paid, and I want to get paid handsomely, and I want a cup of tea with some proper milk in it, and then I'm going to fuck off home, right? That's it. That's all that happened. And don't try and make me remember any of it, because I simply won't. I blotted it out. That experience was not one I want to repeat, talk about, or remember, and as far as I'm concerned, Harry Potter now has gone. Okay, post another tiny Cortina in the group. Supercar content doesn't interest me. Ah, right. When you say supercar, right? I read that first as like supercar content, not supercar. So in other words, like content that's super. Because you could have supercar content that contains just ordinary cars, and that would be better than supercar content, wouldn't it? If you don't like cars that you're never going to buy, or not interested because they're way out of your price range, or because you just think that cars that are really fast are completely stupid, and that actually there should be a scale on against speed and stupidity, and how it correlates, and then the supercars would most definitely not be your kind of thing, or most people's. Anyway, I have to jump off. Just got to go to work. Okay, Barry, have a nice evening or day. Bye. Later. Matt Armstrong does small videos and wants... Ah, right, I see. Okay, thank you. Matt Armstrong does small videos, and once the build-up is finished, he releases the same videos in one big start-to-finish video, which is obviously what you watched. Well, thank you. That's a jolly good idea, and it is something that I was considering doing myself, except that you don't really see me doing that level of work. But I could do it with Nigel here, because in case you don't know, or in case you're interested, this little chap here needs the cam seals doing. Yes. It also needs the back box fitting. That's not a difficult job, is it? However, I could stretch that out into a whole video. It also needs the boot wiring loom, not fixing, but entirely replacing, because the one it's got has just got more and more knackered. And I've got a spare one here, which looks to be okay. And then before it's MOT, it needs a shock absorber and a track rod end. So I could actually, in theory, do a series of small videos like that, and then release one special hour-long video that probably no one's really going to watch, to just say, look at this, look what I've done. You wouldn't imagine I'd do this in one day. Well, I haven't. Oh, I just pulled myself in the eye. Was that a Hubnut minion trolling Boaty last night over his YouTube strike? Well, I've got no idea. I didn't know that there's somebody being awkward, but I mean, it does seem to get awkward people quite a lot, doesn't it? Thanks, says Windy Miller, though I must confess I make it up as I go along. I know, and I don't put the effort in, and I don't put the effort in you have kindly credited me with. Well, there's two ways of looking at that, and I think I know the correct one, and that is that just as you start writing, things just pop out. They just pop out, and because you write things properly, more things pop out, and that's really it. So you're right. Yeah, there's nothing really to thank you for. Well, thank you, but I am thanking you because I do appreciate it. Germany is tanking because of it. I think, says Windy Miller, your lights look like you're living in a stained glass window, or making a living out of stained glass window. Look inspirational. You could be right, actually. I think it's not a bad backdrop. It's either that or my little colourful door display over there, one or the other. But the reason for being here to start with is actually because my phone was plugged in and charging. Tori says, good morning to you. My gaming channel is less successful. Mohammed says, boss Yampa Ian, or Lan, Mas Yapma. Probably going to find out that's some bad language, so I'm glad I can't pronounce it properly. It is raining quite heavily here. Is it raining heavily there as well? Sausage news. The sausage news was the other day when I did the sausage rolls. I could have put that into a video, couldn't I? In fact, every kitchen episode could be done into some sort of video. Just like unwrapping things here. You know, unwrapping things. Even when a chap called Gareth came around with a bag of things for me, which is very, very nice, I thought I might as well make a video out of that because somebody might want to watch it. Have any cars been moved on recently? Asks Windy Miller. No. Oh, hang on. I need to go. 1 second. I need to go for a wee. I'm going to rephrase that for Windy Miller, who asked, have any cars gone recently? Yeah, gone wrong is the answer. gone wrong. But you probably know about that. You know about the old CVT gearbox Rover 25 that Boaty loves so much that he never bothered to check the gearbox oil. It's my fault. I should have done it. I should have done it. I should have checked it, drained it out, put some fresh stuff in before it went wrong, but I didn't even think of it. I didn't even think about it at all. There is something quite interesting. I could tell all 14 of the people that are here at the moment something very interesting indeed, and that is that the Freelander, which currently is in the hands of Mr. Johnny Two Scoops, might be coming back to me, not because he hasn't fit, because he's finished borrowing it, because I've managed to get his Audi going, but because there could well be a swap on the cards. Yuck. Yeah, but I don't want to go revealing the information right now, do I? But I have, somebody sent me a link to a car last night that they thought I'd be interested in. I thought, oh, well, I am. That is just the kind of car I like, actually. And I have a car in my possession that I'm not overly bothered about, and that is the Freelander. And so far, I've not been able to sell it. I've just been able to let somebody borrow it, and that doesn't make any money at all, does it? Then again, neither does swapping it. But swapping something I don't particularly want for something I do particularly want seems like a good idea. And there we go again. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because it might not happen. But we find out today if it is. They do. I pop back and carry on typing. Oh, yes, yes. I was going to wait till mustard was finished. Well, you don't have to do that, Simone. Mine popped out by accident, Your Honour. Mark the Vicar. Oh, Blair is here. Hello, Captain. In a few minutes, I have a big important test, and no one in my family responds to my messages, and I'm very nervous. Oh, gosh, right, with a few minutes, that's already gone, hasn't it? I really do wish you the best in that test, and I'm sure it'll be fine. And no doubt you're actually doing it right now. You like you fix fruit machines. Yes, Steve. Point taken. I think I will be cooked in this test. Oh dear. These are testing before, so it was complicated. Algebra and geometry. Well, they're quite easy subjects, aren't they? They're easy if you know what you're doing with them anyway. They're not the kind of thing you start to forget about very easily. Oh, Tricky, have you done your preparation? Asked Windy Mill. Does Jonathan Z. Wee Mercedes still have his raffish 19? Oh, yes, not 19, 190. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He does still have it. And he has even been considering possibly selling it on to get a vehicle more suitable for what he does as a job. But what car would suit him very well as for his job in his rather rural area and lots of steep muddy dirt tracks and things that he has to go up would be a Land Rover Freelander with its four-wheel drive still intact. But like me, he's not massively keen on it. Okay then, I'm going to lie surely. Bye-bye then, Simone. Bye-bye. Any advice? Soon my name will be called out for the exam. It's very difficult to give someone advice when it comes to exams. Besides, just, it might sound a bit weak, but just relax. Being tense and nervous is never a good thing. That does not help the flow of information from one place to the next. So you need not to worry about whether it's going to go wrong, but just to do it and see if it goes wrong. Worrying about something going wrong will just ensure it's more likely to go wrong. That's really all I can say. It's not like I can feed you full of information with your algebra right now, is it? You fix fruit machines is a great one. Yes, it is. Do your best, Blair. Take your time and read the questions carefully. You can do them all. Exactly that. I know I will do my best, but I'm no good in geometry. Right, well, there's not much more you can do besides, as Wendy has just said, is just actually do your best with what you're doing. You do your best with what you're doing, and maybe, just maybe, it'll work out okay. But don't worry about it. That really is it. Listen, I don't want to end this live stream, but I really do need a proper drink. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just quickly pop next door and steal some milk if they'll let me. And then I'll carry on for a bit, for as long as anybody's interested. Hello! Hello, I'm back. Let's put the microphone back on. I like this angle even better. It's much more colourful, isn't it? Don't you reckon? It's kind of cozy. It's Christmassy. I might even say. Yeah, so I just popped into the garage, and what I didn't do was ask if I could have some milk. Instead, I just went to the fridge and got some. Well, the fact is, anytime they need something like that, I will always, I won't actually say no. I'll just say, yeah, of course you can. You can even, borrow my big screwdriver. So now, I can have myself a proper, nice cup of tea that tastes like tea rather than. What does tea taste like without milk? I mean, for many people it will taste like tea, and you could say, well, if you don't like tea unless it's got milk in it, then you don't really like tea. I say the same thing about sugar. Tea should not have sugar in it, coffee should not have sugar in it, and if you need to have sugar in it, then you don't like the taste of it. So that is me now telling myself off for doing exactly the same thing, except people generally like sugar in things, like sugar in everything. I don't put milk in curry. I don't put milk on rice. I don't put milk on cereal. Well, yeah, I do, but I don't really eat cereal very often, so it doesn't really count. Now, I've spotted a couple more faces popping in. Bye-bye, Blair. Okay, you best of luck from me as well. Not that you're going to hear this now. Come back and tell us how it went, says Windy Miller. It's very nice, Windy. You'll ace it. Good luck. Good afternoon. Oh, hello, Mustard. Ooh, lovely lights, and Nigel. Thank you. Yeah, I think they're quite. It does make it feel quite homely, doesn't it? Cozy. Maybe. Now. Last night I mentioned on Boaty's live stream that I really fancy doing a night in the car for a video, for possibly a live stream. What if I did it in here? What if I did it in here rather than just in the car? Well, two issues with that, I reckon. That is that I can't lock myself in. And that means that should anyone break in, they could gain access to the lockup whilst I was asleep. And what if I was so asleep I didn't know they were there, and there was helping themselves to things that don't belong to them, whilst I am blissfully unaware in the land of Bobos, stretched out in the back of an estate car. I only thought that because it'd be nice to have these lights as an accompaniment. Then again, anyone that would break in would possibly see the lights and see a man sleeping in a car and a dog that was barking at them. And Wilma would be barking at this point, and probably just go the other way. I would, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? If you wouldn't think, oh yeah, this is fine. There's, you know, he's in here. He's basically going to tell me what I can take. No, it doesn't work like that. Everybody's saying hello to Tracy, of course. And I don't have mashed potato and gravy for breakfast. Okay. Why did you say that? Let's try a new place for the tripod, which is just here. I like to keep thinking, oh gosh, it's so unstable though. No, I can't have that there. The last time I did this, I ended up messing around, moving the tripod around and stuff, trying to find somewhere more suitable, somewhere where I preferred it, instead of actually just doing the live stream. But what is the live stream? What am I actually doing here? Because as you can see, it's not work, is it? It's just talking. It's just an endless stream of cack going on, accompanied by now a cup of tea with milk. I'm reading out some comments of the people that are good enough to be here with me. They're good enough to be here because they haven't got anything better to do. That's the assumption. Is it the truth? Don't know. Has anybody got anything better to do than actually be here? Because if you have, I'm going to just feel really bad about that, aren't I? I might actually go and try out my seat, come to think of it, where I can sit in the colourful corner with more colourful lights behind me as well. Eh? What do you reckon? Should we go over there? Let's go over there. So this is the dangerous part of actually walking around the lockup in the dark whilst I have obstacles to not trip over. And there we have it. That might be a bit too much. There. Now I can put the light on. Join me whilst I mess around with lights on a lockup to find the perfect situation of where I will be comfortable and sat down at the same time. It happens every day. No, it doesn't. I'm surprised actually the seat's not piss wet through from all the condensation dripping off the roof. But it's not. So that's a good thing. Now, Windy says, we have stopped. Not a lot of point in coming around your place, is there? We have stopped having milk tea. It's good because you need less tea infrastructure. I actually prefer the taste of without the milk, but the lactose tolerance is dipped in, which affects my cheese consumption. That's what would happen with me. In fact, no milk. Well, I tell you what, let's put some cheese in the coffee or tea instead. There is a thing, isn't there, about putting butter into coffee. Have you ever tried it? Have you tried butter in coffee instead? It's, I mean, it's not as weird as it sounds, I don't think. But it doesn't taste right, because I have tried it. Yes, a night in the lovely Fairy Lights lockup. Hope you find a way to make it happen. Well, that could be a rather special live stream, couldn't it? I mean, how many people would want to join in with that? Maybe none. But then again, as you know, and as Simone pointed out before, those people that do live streams don't like to cross over. You know, if someone's already doing a live stream and I know about it, I don't really want to be starting one off. I even do this with videos. Although last night I did actually just post my video once it was ready, because I was already like 48 hours since I'd last posted one, and I didn't really want to wait any longer. But that's not a problem because that bombed anyway. What is it recently? My videos on my other channel just seem to be just bombing. Subject matter, of course. It's rather about what you're talking about, what you're doing. Your thumbnails, all these other kind of things. Now, what, of course, my dilemma is that whatever I do, someone's going to dislike it, because I have enough people there for someone to just think, "That's not what comes to this channel for." And there must be a bunch of people who came to the channel because I acquired a Peugeot and now are disappointed because I haven't got one. That's what I'm up against all of the time. And it can be, well, just a bit on the disappointing side. And whilst I'm rattling on here, I'm not even drinking my cup of tea, and that's just not on at all, is it? I'm going to try a different light now. That one, because it might be better. And it, the other side of the lockup is illuminated. I fancy an egg now. I fancy an egg. An egg with your tea, sir. Oh, I just realised this is semi-skimmed milk, which of course isn't as effective as being milk as full fat milk is. Wow, come on, move out of the way. Yeah. I've got the front end of Nigel ever so slightly jacked up there, and it seems a bit pointless because I'm not even doing the work on it today. It just gives me an obstacle to fight my way around. And doing it in the dark a minute ago was ever so slightly dangerous, in fact. I mean, not to the extent where I fell over, but I could have very easily have done. If I wasn't so careful and deft in my movements, I would have been on the floor with grazed knees and a broken chin, and that would never actually be a good idea. I mean, you know, because I didn't video it. You've got to video these things. If you're going to do yourself an injury, make sure someone's watching. What space are we on? The lights, says Steve Cold. Well, you can't see the lights from this angle though, can you? That's the only trouble. Because I didn't actually put them over here. All I've done is put them over that side. Oh, that's a rather festive angle, literally, isn't it? That's a rather festive angle, just like that. I know I keep on moving around and stuff, but you know, whilst I've got some energy to do this kind of thing, I don't really want to just stand or sit in one place, because for two things: sitting in one place makes you cold, and not using your energy makes the energy eventually go away, and that's not a good thing either. Now, yesterday I was having a conversation that made me think, and this will be exceedingly unpopular, but the Keir Starmer's wonderful gift to the pensioners of taking a lot of their money away for heating could actually help them live a bit longer. Okay, because they've got to do a bit more moving around. Now, I don't really mean it, but it's just a thought, and it's just something I said, and I can't help but say things I think sometimes. But there's more to it than that, because I don't talk about politics, because it just divides people. It divides people way too much, and in actual fact there's no one political party or one political thing that I follow, because I think they're all just a little bit wrong, and to ignore all of the wrong things they do just to agree with the right things that they do, I don't think is a good idea. And I think not enough people actually can look at politics and more complicated opinions in this way, where they just take on the information that they actually understand and work with that, rather than just having this thing where you've got to agree with everything they say. But actually, I remembered something about cold therapy, that it's actually good for you to get cold from time to time. You're healthier if you're cold a bit, but of course, being cold all the time, no. Being cold in your own house, shivering with lots of blankets over you, not moving out of one room to the next, that's not good. And that was the joke I was trying to make, but nobody at the time seemed to get it. And I'd say sorry to whoever it was that was listening, but you know, they just didn't get it. I spend my life saying things that people don't get, and either that's because I'm saying things that people just genuinely aren't too interested in understanding because they can't be bothered to think beyond what they're already thinking, or I'm just completely wrong in everything I say. You can tell me which one you like, because I don't really mind. Oh, Red Dwarf, yes, it does look like Red Dwarf. Yeah, thank you. Does that make you Holly Matron? There's a magician's shop in Stratford-upon-Avon. The lockup looks like that shop. I reckon it'd be better if there was even more, don't you? I mean, lights like these are available around Christmas, but you don't have to just use them for Christmas, do you? You can just use them because you like them. And maybe, or, well, I mean, I could have just areas which are lit up like a Christmas tree, or areas that aren't, and areas that aren't. So I'll just have a whole lot like that. What do you think? It's like during the coronation, and there were flags available. Flags, and at the time I thought, yes, I want a flag. Fly the flag, just like I was doing with the George cross, but took it down every time football was on because I didn't want anybody thinking that I liked football, because I really don't. But anyway, that flag went missing. But a Union Jack or Union flag, I'd actually have that on display all year round. A very large man has turned up to talk to my neighbour. He's big, a burly beast of a man, but has an extraordinarily high-pitched voice. Keep us posted, Windy. Lone Wolf, be who you are, mate. I do. I'm always doing that. I'm always doing it. Hey, it's having a shit. 10mm socket. Now you like to remind us who you were before, don't you? Maybe you should just go back to having a shit if that's what you want people to know you as. Long time, being busy. Dick Dastardly. Oh wow, I like Dick Dastardly. Another one of my rather wonderful regular people that I've never met. But maybe if I met Dick Dastardly, it would spoil my dreams. But I'm willing to take the chance. I'd like to think I am on your similar wavelength. I'd like to think that too. Gareth Williams, oh jolly good, what a chap, Gareth Williams. Gareth Williams here is the man who brought round gifts the other day. Brought round lots of things. I'm afraid to tell you that the beer's all gone, but the biscuits are still mostly present, as are the tea bags and the chopped sauce. That's not been opened yet. Back in the 80s, there was a pop song called The Lion Sleeps Tonight, says Dick Dastardly to Windy Miller. Sung by a burly large man with a high-pitched voice. Perhaps it's the same fellow from his younger days. My dad was a mechanic, hence the name 10mm socket. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. It is actually getting rather cold in here. And oh, what's the time? What's the time, everyone? Someone tell me what the time is, because I can't see it on my thingy there. And if I scroll off to look at the time, I'll scroll off the live stream, and we don't want that to happen. 3 p.m. Thank you. Oh, right, it's 3. Wow. Okay, that means I am actually going to have to go, because I'm going to make my way off in the rain to Oldham to go and look at a particular car that I might be doing a deal with, and I will let you know all about it. If it's nearly three, yeah. It's time to get ill. Oh, right, yeah. Windy Miller says, I remember that song, Dick, but this guy looked too young. You can never tell these days, though. If he comes back, I'll gently whisper, Abo Imwe, Abo Imwe. Right. Right. Anyway, thank you very, very much for joining me on this. Again, rather impromptu live stream. There weren't really a great deal of warning, were there? That's the way I like it. Okay. I'll see you in another one. I'll try and bung up another video on this channel very, very soon. try and keep it going. Let's try and get something going on. This channel's got potential, hasn't it? Eh? It must have. It must have. And now I must go and actually go and view this car. Once I've drunk my cup of tea, it is. It is indeed. I mean, it won't be that far off. It's cold enough to make it cold quite quickly. Ciao, amigos. Bye all, bye mustard. See you later, and bye-bye to you. And thank you again, everybody. Bye.